Morning, everybody, and welcome to the News Hub. I'm Simon Constable. We have some developing news overnight regarding the battle with militant Islamists in Iraq. European foreign ministers are to hold an emergency meeting in the next few days. They will review options for their role in battling the militants and if or how to provide military support to the Kurds. Regardless of that, France President François Hollande says it will ship arms to Kurdish forces in the next few hours. The French move follows a request by Kurdistan and discussions with Iraq's government. Meanwhile, the United States is mulling a special mission to save the Yazidis, that's the religious minority who are currently stranded atop a mountain. WSJ's Dion Nissenbaum had this story first before anyone else, and he joins us from Washington. Good morning, Dion.
Morning, Simon. How are you?
Very well, and clearly our hearts are with everybody stranded atop that mountain. Tell us, what options are is the U.S. government considering?
So the U.S. military has sent 130 advisors to Erbil to assess what kind of a rescue mission they might be able to do on the mountain. The first thing they need to do is figure out exactly how many Yazidis are in this mountain range. The numbers vary widely. Could be up to 35,000, but the U.S. military isn't really sure. That's the first thing they need to do, is figure out how many people they would have to get off the mountain, and then they need to figure out exactly how they would do it. The thinking now is that they would perhaps do it by air. The Iraqi military has been having small helicopters that have gone in to drop supplies and get a few dozen Yazidis off the mountain range. And they've been able to do that without taking fire from the Islamic State forces that are in that area. So they still need to figure out exactly what they can do, how many people they would have to get off the mountain, how long it would take, and whether any international partners would be willing to help out on this effort.
No, either way, this is thousands of people, regardless of what the actual total is, of thousands of people. An airlift like this is of a lot of people will be a major, major undertaking, won't it, if it ends up being an airlift?
In fact, yeah, it could take days. I think that the Pentagon is trying to figure out if there are other options here. There is talk of, a ground option. That's the secondary option here. We do know that there has been kind of an informal corridor, some safe passage for Yazidis that are moving on the backside of the mountain into Syria. They're going through Syria, then coming back into Iraq. That's taking some pressure off the situation here. And you've got this airlift that the Iraqi military is doing, taking some people off the mountain. So it is possible that the U.S. military could decide at the end of the day that, you know what, these routes are working. We don't need to risk our own personnel to do this. But that's really what we're going to find out in the coming days, exactly what they need to do and whether they do have to mount this kind of operation.
And the U.S. is insisting this isn't really going to be a sort of a combat role for any of these military advisors. That's what they are insisting.
Yeah, the president has said we're not going to have boots on the ground. It's a mantra of the administration, not returning to combat operations. The question here is, if you're trying to get around Islamic State forces that are surrounding the mountain, are you going to be able to avoid getting into some confrontation with them? The U.S. is carrying out airstrikes, taking out these Islamic State forces that are in the area.
Thank you very much, Dion Nissenbaum of the Wall Street Journal. We appreciate your time, sir.